Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Gleam channel. Today, we're diving into something truly magical that many of us grew up with, bedtime stories. But what if I told you that this simple, cherished ritual isn't just about imagination and sweet dreams? What if the act of a bedtime story was actually a secret superpower, quietly shaping your child's brain in profound ways? Get ready, because we're about to pull back the curtain and unveil the incredible neuroscience behind that nighttime. Once upon a time, this isn't just about sparking imagination. It's about real, tangible neurochemical changes happening inside those little heads. We're going on a journey deep into the brain's night shift during story time, exploring how every word, every character, every comforting voice contributes to an extraordinary developmental blueprint. You might never look at a bedtime story the same way again. So grab a comfy blanket, because it's time to explore the lullaby of neurons. Now, let's unpack what's really happening inside the brain when a story unfolds. Scientists call it narrative transportation, and it's basically your brain getting fully immersed in the tale. When you or your child listens to a story, specific brain regions light up like a Christmas tree. One key area is the default mode network, which is actively involved when we're imagining, remembering, or thinking about others. It's like the brain's storytelling hub, activating as we process the narrative, building mental models of characters and events, and even predicting what might happen next. This network helps us connect the dots, understand motivations, and create a coherent internal world based on the story. But it's not just about what you hear. It's also about how you feel. Enter oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone or the love hormone. When you're nestled together, sharing a book, that close physical contact and comforting voice trigger a release of oxytocin in both parent and child. This powerful neurochemical plays a huge role in fostering bonding, trust, and a deep sense of security. It's why bedtime stories feel so warm and connective. This shared positive experience literally strengthens the emotional ties between you, creating a safe and loving environment that's ideal for brain development. And there's another fascinating player: mirror neurons. These incredible neurons fire not only when we perform an action, but also when we observe someone else performing it. When a character in a story feels sad, excited, or scared, these mirror neurons help children implicitly understand those emotions. It's like a mini masterclass in empathy. By hearing about a character's struggles and triumphs, children start to process and internalize different emotional states, learning to recognize them in themselves and others. This foundational understanding of emotions through narratives is crucial for developing strong social skills and emotional intelligence. So, with every story, you're not just reading words. You're building a foundation for connection and understanding. Beyond emotional development, bedtime stories are veritable gyms for the brain, igniting imagination and supercharging cognition. Let us talk about the prefrontal cortex, that incredible part of our brain responsible for executive functions like problem solving, planning, and abstract thought. When children follow a story, they're constantly engaging this area. They're anticipating plot twists, forming mental images of characters and settings, and even trying to predict outcomes. This constant mental workout strengthens those neural pathways, building a robust foundation for critical thinking and complex problem-solving abilities in the future. It's like doing cognitive push-ups without even realizing it. Then there's the hippocampus, a brain structure vital for memory and learning. And here's where it gets truly surprising. There's a strong link between bedtime stories and improved memory consolidation. While listening to a story, especially a complex one, children are actively processing new information. When they then drift off to sleep, their brain uses that quiet time to solidify these new memories, transferring them from short-term to long-term storage. So, those fantastical tales aren't just entertaining. They're helping to wire their brains for better learning and recall, making academic tasks easier down the line. And let's not forget the vocabulary explosion that happens with regular story time. Children exposed to diverse language through books encounter words and sentence structures they might not hear in everyday conversation. This rich linguistic environment expands their vocabulary exponentially, improving their comprehension and their ability to express themselves. The more words they encounter, the stronger their linguistic foundations become, setting them up for success in reading, writing, and communication throughout their lives. Every new word is a tiny key, unlocking a bigger world of understanding. Now, let's explore how bedtime stories are like emotional alchemy, gently regulating feelings and building resilience. Think about the amygdala, the brain's emotional center responsible for fear and anxiety. For many children, the predictable routine of a bedtime story, coupled with a calm, comforting voice, acts as a powerful regulator for the amygdala. This consistent, secure ritual significantly reduces anxiety and promotes a profound sense of calm, making it easier for children to relax and drift into peaceful sleep. It's a neurobiological lullaby that soothes the nervous system. What's even more remarkable is how stories teach coping mechanisms. Characters and narratives often face challenges, overcome obstacles, and find resolutions. As children listen, they implicitly learn about different ways to deal with difficulties, process emotions, and persevere. They see characters navigate sadness, anger, fear, and joy, providing them with a safe, indirect way to explore their own emotional landscape. These stories become powerful lessons in emotional resilience, showing them that even when things are tough, there's often a path to a positive outcome. And let's not forget the power of anticipation and resolution within a story arc. The build-up of suspense, the climax, and the eventual resolution are incredibly important for building emotional intelligence. Children learn to manage their feelings of anticipation, understanding that challenges are temporary and that resolution often follows. This experience helps them develop a sense of emotional predictability, reinforcing the idea that difficulties can be overcome, and that patience often leads to a satisfying conclusion. These narrative structures subtly teach them how to navigate the highs and lows of life. So, what does all this mean for the future of sleep-ahead superpowers? The long-term benefits of early story exposure are truly astounding. Children who regularly engage with bedtime stories tend to exhibit enhanced academic success, often performing better in reading comprehension, critical thinking, and overall school performance. But it's not just about grades. It's also about stronger social skills. The empathy, emotional regulation, and understanding of human behavior gained through stories translate into more successful interactions with peers and a greater capacity for forming meaningful relationships. For all you amazing parents out there, here are some practical tips to maximize these neuroscientific benefits tonight. First, make it a consistent routine. Predictability is key for that amygdala regulation. Second, engage actively. Ask questions about the story, discuss characters' feelings, and encourage your child to predict what happens next. This boosts prefrontal cortex activity. Third, choose diverse stories. Expose them to different cultures, characters, and emotions to broaden their understanding of the world and their own emotional range. And finally, make it a cuddle fest. That physical closeness and comforting voice are essential for oxytocin release and bonding. Bedtime stories are so much more than just tales before sleep. They are powerful tools for brain development, emotional intelligence, and lifelong learning. They are, quite literally, magic for the mind. What are your favorite bedtime story memories? Did you have a go-to book as a child, or a story your parents always told? Share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you found this deep dive into the neuroscience of stories as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe Fantasy Gleam for more brain insights, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.